SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, we have breaking news for you here today. Major changes at AT&T. Let me tell you all we know currently, get you guys up to speed, and then we'll probably get some additional information at a later time. The current head network leader at AT&T, I guess we'll just refer to him as the president of technology at AT&T, Chris Sambar, has made his intention clear. He is leaving the company. And the terms in which he is leaving the company are not really well understood at this time. It seems and feels as if everybody at AT&T was caught off guard by this. This does not feel like it's a situation where it's kind of a natural progression or sunsetting or retirement type of deal. But Chris Sambar has been with the company for many, many years. He has, I think, been with the organization for the better part of 2 decades. He served in the military. He worked, I think, with AT&T in the FirstNet unit, the FirstNet side of the business. There's a deep history between him and this company, and he's been there for a very long time. So for it to kind of feel like it was sprung up like this is kind of a shock. He was a big part of their network vision and execution for the better part of the last decade. Especially specifically when you look at the last several years, most recently in modern times, he was a big part of this, right? And the thing that's shocking is kind of the timing. Like, we're getting it at the end of the business day, which means AT&T was kind of trying to drop it at the end of the day, which means they weren't trying to answer questions about it. But we're going to have to get some explanations on this, I think, from leadership about the direction of the company, if they're changing certain things. I mean, the question becomes, why did Chris Sambar leave? I know he's on the board of directors at AST. I mean, does he want a bigger role at that company? That's a small company. And while it is a cool project, that is not AT&T. There's only a couple jobs like this, guys, in the world. So to be willing to leave such a prestigious position, whether or not you feel glowingly about AT&T doesn't really matter. But there's the Verizon CTO position, there's the AT&T position, and then there's the T-Mobile position. Name bigger networks in the world, right? With that prestige and with that notoriety. So I have to say this was a bit of a surprise, unless there was something brewing behind closed doors between him and other leadership, or maybe he's onto something else that he wants to do, take on a project. We don't know those types of things. Maybe we get some disclosures on some level. We'll find out if and when he goes to another company. It just doesn't seem like the natural retirement time for a person in this position or at this position in their career, right? So I don't want to speculate too much, but I mean, it doesn't seem unceremonious from the outside, but we could be wrong. That was kind of what happened with Ronan Dunn over at Verizon. It was quite unceremonious. But they try to keep it under wraps, and these things eventually come to light and people find out. So if something comes of this and we learn a little bit more about this, I'll definitely give you guys the news, especially if it connects to the network vision. Were they displeased with Chris Sambar's performance as the technology leader, president of technology? Or are they looking to go in a different direction? Are they not approving of what he had in mind in terms of execution? I don't know any of those things. But one could speculate, based on the timing and the way this happened, that a lot of things could have played out. Maybe a fallout with Stanky, maybe a fallout with the CFO. I don't know. I don't know how these things work within these companies, especially this one. I know for a fact that the folks over at AT&T try to keep everything hush hush, right? They try to conceal everything, and that's probably why this came out like this. And we don't know if this had been in the works for weeks or even months, and there was a preparation phase to bring the heir apparent in. We don't know any of those things, but I think whoever his assistants, we'll call them directors, a natural escalation into a position, it's just not the time for this. That's how I'm looking at it. Is AT&T is at a time in their company's trajectory that's make or break for them, as they seemingly are positioned last place within the perception of many folks. Whether or not that's true is different, just perception. But we hear it all the time. They're more occupied by fiber and less occupied by their breadwinner, which is actually wireless. But we'll see what else we could find out, and comment. Let me know what you guys think could have possibly played out, without kind of running rampant with the speculation. But, do you see it how I see it, kind of the way it played out? Does it seem unceremonious? Does it seem like something was awry? Or do you think it's just bigger, better things? Or, some people look for fresh new things, and maybe things at AT&T possibly got a little toxic for some folks, like maybe Chris Samper. I don't know. Maybe the pressure was heavy. You never know how people kind of internalize these things. But I'm sure he was paid a lot of money, and if he's going to go somewhere else, he's going to want to make more money, probably. But we'll see what happens. We'll track it. Anyways, drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about all this. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more, and turn on the bell notifications icon. Support us on Patreon or with a YouTube membership, and don't forget to share this video. That helps out the channel. And we out.